Hey guys, B. Dean Barry here, Keystone Prime Weather, and I'm just taking a second before the video to talk about today's sponsor, which is A Premium Auto Parts. You can get auto parts at many different places on the internet. However, A Premium is where I've been getting parts here lately, and that's a-premium.com. A Premium Auto Parts giving us this promo code AFF15. Use my promo code, get 15% off your auto parts order at A Premium Auto Parts until July 24th. So use that throughout the end of the spring and into the summer to get your fleet together and ready for service. A Premium Auto Parts. Tell them Keystone Prime sent you. A-premiumautoparts.com. Promo code AFF15. And now on to the video. Hello everybody, Storm Chaser, B. Dean Barry, Keystone Prime. Welcome to the channel. And you might notice someone's holding this for me today. We got Kylie out here filming with us today. And what are we doing today? Well, we got truck 2, and as you saw in a couple of previous videos, truck 2 had some issues when it was 0 degrees outside. Mostly this Mercedes air suspension dropping to the ground. What are we gonna do about that? You know, you can't just let that sit because it will screw you up. So we have a cargo area full of parts, and we're going to be putting a normal suspension on this truck. We're getting rid of this Mercedes garbage. We're going to be making this right, and we'll start now. Okay, now the first step is we got to get this thing slammed. We got to get it all the way on the ground because that's the only way you can work on air suspension. Plus, you don't want it to be under compression when you go to start turning bolts. You can get really, really hurt that way. So first thing we got to do is we got to close all the doors. It will not operate. We got to get it started first. Then we connect up with our OBDJ scan here. Are you seeing this? I keep hitting it. It won't do anything. It's supposed to do something here. Doesn't matter to me. It's a pain.
Hey, you're going down on the front side.
Yeah, it's just not doing all of it. You know, it's not giving me what I need. I don't understand why. It's got a warning. It's not going to let us. It's not going to let us. We did a no-no thing. We tried to fix something ourselves. I'm putting this bitch in a river and reporting it stolen. You know, one thing that really triggers the ever-living fuck out of me whenever I'm trying to work on a truck like this, I live in Pennsylvania. Okay, we live in Pennsylvania, we live in Ohio, we live in this areas where these things called winter. And they put this shit on the road called salt. Okay, so when I watch a video of some asshat from California that's like, and then you just take these bolts that have been on there for 16 years right off. No problem, bro. I want to hurt these people. I want to hurt these people. Maybe I'll do that in between rounds of surfing. I hate it so much. Look at the water falling on the floor out of the vent line for the air suspension. That's the reason we have to replace this piece of crap. That's the issue that fucking happens with these pieces of garbage 99% of the time. The problem can be traced back to somebody named Klaus who thought we needed more computer in our fucking computer. Of course not. Of course we want to hang up, not budge. The dirt falling out of there. Oh yeah, I just disconnected that, so everything is electric. In order to open a door, I need the electricity to work. The next storm chasing truck I build is going to be a 1971 Jeep J10 pickup truck. I want a carburetor. I want like 4 electrical circuits, 0 computers. Oh my God, I'm just about tired of this. Okay, now we get to go to the front. Get it swiveled down, and I'll get it straight, and then the fucking half shaft will pop out of that differential and leak all over the fucking place and then break. Okay, every one of these bolts that's loose is going to be a torque under load. So I'm going to have to bring all of this up with the jack and put it under load in order to torque those down. It is a nightmare getting these out of here. I managed to get this shock out and the new one in without removing the CV axle. It goes up into the transmission there. Managed to do that. The other side, not so much. So it's about a month later. We haven't done much with truck 2, and all of that was shot earlier. We ran into a problem. So the front end of truck 2 is sniffing the ground, and we couldn't figure out why with the new kit. Turns out the shocks they included with the kit were for the V6. For note, the V6 was never made with air ride. Not sure why they did that, but the spring rate isn't enough to hold the front end up so it looks like a drag car. That's also triggering ABS lights and all types of other nasty nonsense that we are going to fix today. What do we have? We've got the shocks from a V8 Limited. It'll hold up the front end. It's got the proper spring rate. However, you're still going to need a leveling kit because even at their best, the back end sits about 2 inches higher than the front end on these trucks at their stock ride height. And for that, block spacers. This will take that ride height up, and I know it doesn't look like 2 inches. It'll kick it out on the bottom to make it a 2-inch lift. And in order to do that, we've got to modify these shocks, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we've already been hard at work here. As you can see, though, in order to get these studs down to the right depth, because if you try to put it on without cutting the studs, what you wind up with is the studs are too long to fit inside the spacer. So we're winding those bolts all the way down to the proper height of where we need to get it into the spacer, and then we are cutting them off with a death wheel so that we can get them inside the spacer, like so. It's been working pretty well for us so far. We wind the nut all the way down on the stud there, and then hopefully the nut will come off fine and will go back on fine. We've tested that with the other 2 studs and it's worked fine, so here we go. And let's try to put that back on even. She threads right on. Let's get this done. Okay, and as you can see, there's very little room to work with these bolts here on this spacer kit. I gotta say though, this Max Expeding Rods brand that they sell on Amazon, it's not designed that well. It's designed well for the bolt. It's not designed at all to tighten the bolt. That was a workout, so maybe avoid that. Okay, I'll show you what I did right back here. Is I unplugged the pump and gas block circuit. And that will finish up the electronics part, getting rid of that. I'm not going to be disconnecting level switches and everything else. I don't care that much. Got all of this back together under load tighten. Got our standard coilover shock in. All of that's tightened. I used the jack to provide street load for it. So there's still a lot involved in this. Here they are. They are in. That was supremely difficult. Very, very difficult. As we see, new ABS sensors. I had to drill the old ones out. New blocks up in there. Everything's tightened down under the hood. And on this side over here, we actually managed to shear a CV axle. We had to put a brand new one in it there. And man, it's been a ton and a half of work. A ton and a half of work. This has taken over a month. And I would not recommend that a novice do this. But if you know what you're doing, and you're tired of that air suspension letting you down, go ahead and replace it.
All right, guys, we got the wheel bearing out. That horrible thing over there, we got it out. Got a brand new one to replace it with right here. This is about over, guys. Truck 2 is going to be back on the road. Is fixed and back on the road. Look at that gauge cluster when you start it. You just get the 2 air suspension warning messages that pop up when you first start it, and they go away. No other dash lights. That's the only time that message pops up while driving too. No lights on the dashboard going down the road, we saw in that last clip, and that was not easy. So the ABS tone ring decided that it was broken after we had repaired the front suspension, so we had to put a new bearing in it, and then we had to deprogram the truck. We had to take the air suspension control module out of the equation. We had to turn off the truck's ability to see the ride height level, and then we had to dump that programming back into the computer. After that, no more problems. No more problems at all. And I gotta say, I'm very happy with the result. It actually rides pretty good. I don't miss the air suspension at all. Actually, the ride feels a little better. It feels a little firmer and a little more connected to the road. And I can't complain about any of that. So, I'm gonna go down here to Red Lobster. I'm gonna get something to eat, some seafood. And man, I'm gonna enjoy my day with this beautiful V8 Grand Cherokee that I haven't enjoyed in months. And with all of that being done, truck 2 is ready for service again. Finally, after 3 to 4 months down, it's back and it's driving beautifully. It's doing better than ever. Of course, we're just in time for gasoline to be right around $5 a gallon, so maybe it's just gonna sit for a little while until the world gets its act together. But I gotta tell you, man, very, very, very pleased at how that turned out, and couldn't ask for a better truck. This beautiful 5.7 liter Hemi V8 Grand Cherokee. Love it here. So until next time, I'm BD Barry, Keystone Prime Weather. I thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, following. I thank you guys for the memberships, the super chats. The channel is growing exponentially, and we will be back shortly. So until next time, thank you for watching.